With the Epstein files continuously exposing the government and Prince Andrew recently getting arrested, Trump and the White House have found a window of opportunity with a specific thing that was mentioned by Obama in a recent podcast interview. And it is actually hilarious how they're using this. It's time to tell the world the truth. It's time to tell them about what we know about aliens, extraterrestrial life, and UFOs. Are aliens truly real, or is this just another psychological operation on the population, y'all? Well, the answer to both these questions is yes. I believe that to be so. Barack Obama, in this rapid-fire series of questions, answered a specific question in regards to aliens. Do aliens exist? He's responded saying they're real. I haven't seen them. I don't think any are being kept in Area 51 unless there's an enormous conspiracy hidden by the president himself. There is no secret underground facility for extraterrestrials, but they are indeed real. Now, he was quick to address this because there was a lot of people going crazy after this. He was quick to say, I was trying to stick to the spirit of the speed round, but since it got attention, let me clarify. Statistically, the universe is so vast that odds are good that there's life out there. I would agree with that. But the distances between the solar systems are so great that the chances we've been visited by aliens is low. I saw no evidence during my presidency that extraterrestrials have made contact with us. Now, he probably should have just stayed silent, because by saying this, now a bunch of people are going to say, oh man, he felt the need to clarify. He's panicking. The government's trying to cover this up now. Aliens are real. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's how people are. Trump saw this and first reacted to it by saying, well, Obama shouldn't have been talking about that. That's classified information, because if anybody else reveals information like this, it's a problem. I gotta be the one to do it. Trump recently tweeted or put on Truth Social, I don't know what the platform he uses, based on tremendous interest shown, I will be directing the Secretary of War and other related departments to begin the process of identifying and releasing government files related to aliens and extraterrestrial life, unidentified aerial phenomena, and UFOs, and any other information connected to these highly complex but extremely interesting and important matters. God bless America. Who buys this? Who buys that they would do that? Why is this happening? Has any politician or president done anything like this? Why now? One obvious answer is that Trump is attempting to get favor from the American population, because the White House is kind of under fire right now. The Epstein files have released and exposed many people in Trump's cabinet, including himself, as being implicated and related to many of the crimes. You got these two circus clowns leading big departments of his government, the DOJ and the FBI, and they are under intense scrutiny. Not to mention there is like a proxy battle happening, you know, that a lot of people fear could lead to some kind of war, and is being instigated by actors that a lot of people don't like anymore. So there is that. This all serves as a great and pleasant distraction to keep the people from thinking about these other pressing concerns. We got aliens, y'all. But you could say, but Zafi, what if they are releasing stuff about aliens? What if there is stuff out there? What if the secrets that we've been searching for are about to come to light? Well, here's my response to that. Nobody, and I'm going to say this plainly, nobody wants the existence of aliens, intelligent life near Earth or connected to it. Nobody wants that to be truer than me. I'm obsessed with aliens. My channel, one of the main things that made my channel pop off is me talking about aliens and alien movies. You guys know this. I've talked about so many aliens on this channel, it's hard to even keep count. I love aliens. I love anything from xenomorphs to Yaoja to Quiet Place aliens to gray aliens and weird UFOs. I love it all. I have room for it all. I love it. I want them to be real. Trust me, I do. And you know what? I think they are. I would agree with the argument that statistically it's very, very plausible. We already know that alien bacteria and stuff like that exists, microorganisms. But I'm not even talking about that. That's sitting on the fence, in my opinion. Let's be real. Intelligent life. I'm talking about aliens that are like dolphins, dogs, eagles, bears, gorillas. I'm talking about stuff like that. Do we have sentient life like that on other planets? I think so. In fact, there is a current planet that scientists are investigating that could be another place for habitable life. An Earth 2.0. K2-18b, a Haitian world. It's larger than Earth, and it's very hydrogen dominated, and there's vast oceans and vast thick waters. You mean to tell me that there ain't no aquatic marine alien life down there? Of course there is. I have an obsession with this idea of there being an alien kaiju in the ocean somewhere, whether it's our world or another world. It would be a dream of mine to see that come true. I don't think the US government knows anything about that kind of crap, but listen, I do believe that stuff like this might exist. I believe that there's probably some weird stuff on the moon too, in the darker patches that we're not aware of, to be honest. In terms of advanced alien life, like on our level or higher, I'm talking about aliens like the arrival beings, those cosmic beings that are beyond time. I'm talking about the Independence Day aliens. Heck, I'm even talking about the Yaoja too. Do I think creatures like this exist, technologically advanced to the point of crazy space travel? I don't know about that. Part of me thinks, and the universe is so vast that maybe I'm wrong about this, but part of me thinks we would have, in our hundreds and thousands of years of living here, maybe we would have come across them. You know? Maybe we have. Maybe there's a lot of knowledge in the Library of Alexandria that got burned away, that revealed, oh, maybe the aliens helped build the pyramids. Maybe a lot of the ancient gods people worshipped were aliens. Maybe they came down and visited us before and our memory has been wiped. Maybe. I don't know. I do believe that it's possible that there are aliens that are advanced on their own turf, like how we are on Earth, but we still can't do interstellar space travel to another planet. I believe there are probably aliens like that. Maybe. I'm saying this without any evidence, but I want to believe that there are other alien civilizations out there. But if you were to ask me, gun to the head, Zaffy, what kind of alien exists? I'm gonna say the more animalistic kind of alien exists, a more primitive being than beings like the ancient engineers from Prometheus. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of what the White House has got, what will they show us? What kind of alien knowledge will they reveal to the world? Well, I don't think very much. Probably next to nothing. Hot take, and people might disagree with me. There's a lot of conspiracy theorists who might disagree with what I'm about to say. I don't think the White House and the US government actually has as much knowledge and as much intel on aliens as we think. I think the government is perfectly happy to allow us to think they have a lot. I don't think Area 51 has that much stuff in it. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they have a lot. I think what they're about to do to us is a carrot and stick kind of approach, where they're going to give you just enough to titillate the senses and have you coming forward like a donkey while you're distracted from the real stuff that's happening. There are three methods that they could use. They'd probably use all three, if I had to imagine. The Black Knight way, the Bacteria way, or the Moon way. We're going to get to these, right? Let's start with the Black Knight way. There is a big conspiracy theory that's like 120 years old called the Black Knight Satellite Conspiracy. I've mentioned this in a lot of my Cloverfield videos. This theory is predicated on the idea that there's this unidentified, weird alien-looking object that's been orbiting our planet for thousands of years, like 13,000 years. This conspiracy says this is an alien satellite sent here to monitor humanity, our actions, by a higher species of life form. Now, this was debunked by NASA people saying it's probably a thermal blanket lost during an EVA, and it's now, with all the heat and the debris, it looks like this alien thing. But there was a documentary released by Carson and his team in which interviews with scientists and photo experts and all this, they said this thing does not resemble any kind of space debris or thermal blankets that we know of. It seems to suggest to have non-human origins. Carson discusses the detection of strange repeated radio signals, referencing early reports by Nikola Tesla and later long-delayed echoes. But Carson claims these are not just natural anomalies, but signals emanating from this ancient object. Carson argues that the object has been detected by various nations over the last 60 years, but the information has been suppressed, pointing to 1960s news reports about an unknown satellite that was officially identified later as debris. Who knows what this thing really is? It'd be very cool if it was like an alien monitoring system, though. The government could identify this object in one of their classified documents that are about to be unclassified, simply because of an Obama interview. I feel like what's going to happen is they're going to use a mystery like this. Look at this unidentified debris. We, in our classified documents, have noticed and observed strange things about it. There are going to be pictures of unidentified crafts with weird aerial activity. This is going to be cited in the documents that are about to be released, alright? But that's what I mean by the Black Knight satellite method. They're going to take the idea, the mystery of this weird object that people caught on camera, and say, hey, there is actually some weird stuff about this. We're not going to tell you exactly what it is, but we're just going to tell you there's some weird stuff about this. They're going to maybe show audio of long-delayed radio echoes and say, this might be alien. I think ultimately it'll be a nothing burger of little substance. They're going to talk to us about this weird alien microbacteria, or maybe this plant-like alien species on Mars. They're going to say, hey, you know those dark patches on the moon, which, by the way, are like ancient lava? They're going to say, listen, when the Apollo missions were happening, there was some weird stuff happening there that was cited and we haven't told you about. There might have been some movement in those dark areas of the moon. How much you want to bet? That's exactly what they're going to show. They're going to talk about this weird phenomena detected on the dark side of the moon. They're going to tell us just enough, but it's ultimately, in the grand scheme, going to be enough to garner more conspiracies online and more engagement bait to distract from the Epstein stuff. And it won't be anything more than we already know or guess. How much you want to bet? I don't think we're going to find out that Trump is hiding an alien body in an underground dome somewhere. No. That's never happening. You think because of an Obama interview they're going to release anything like that? Hell no. I don't think they have anything like that, to be clear, but still. And I believe that the end result of this will be an intelligence competition. Trump's going to say, we got the alien files. Then these two are going to come out saying, no, we got the real alien files. The U.S. doesn't know crap, but we got it all. Putin's going to say, we've captured an alien ship, y'all. Xi Jinping's going to be like, we have incorporated alien weaponry into our weaponry. They're going to bring up the real alien files. The real alien files. There's going to be a competition of aura regarding aliens. This guy is going to come out and say, aliens are real. We've spoken to them many, many years ago. And they said to us that our country, our people, must rule the world. I'm joking. In case YouTube wants to demonetize me over criticizing him or stuff done by the country, because we know you can't criticize them at all these days. I'm just joking. I'm playing a character. This is comedy. This is Dave Chappelle show. But ultimately, this is a dog and pony show. That's what this is. That's what Trump, in my opinion, because he thinks we're dumb. This entire government thinks we're dumb. And to be honest, they might be correct to some degree. They're creating an elaborate show to distract from all the real stuff that's happening. You could ask yourself, is this guy being honest with the American people? Because it's not like a politician like him to lie. Politicians don't lie at all, right? Imagine Trump's the first president to release classified info on aliens because of an Obama interview and all the engagement bait as a result of this. This info that could potentially, because of social media, get out to the world and expose government secrets to other governments who might want to challenge us on that type of info, right? Guys, you guys understand what's happening right now? Do you think anyone would allow this to really happen? No, they won't. They're not sharing shit. This is all a ploy, a ruse to distract you from the fact that many elites, politicians, and billionaires alike were molesting, eating children. This is all a ruse to distract Americans from the fact that other governments are literally arresting people. Now, I don't think Prince Andrew, anything will happen to him on a pure justice level, but at least something's happening, right? No one's being arrested in the U.S. No one. It makes the DOJ look like a disgrace. Of course they want to distract you from that fact. That's embarrassment right there. They want to distract you from the fact that the DOJ is secretly deleting millions of Epstein files overnight. Deleting literal proof. Literal proof that ties Trump's own Secretary of Commerce to Epstein. That connects him. Leon Black. Multiple CEOs. Various representatives. CIA agency stuff. They're deleting it all overnight because, Trump just announced we're revealing alien shit. At least 2 to 4 credible allegations against Trump, which were ignored by the FBI, but put in internal docket sheets that cited Trump as a co-conspirator, have been removed. Paper trails to Mar-a-Lago are getting removed. Do you guys not see the strings being pulled here? Literal messages between Steve Bannon and Leon Black. They're getting removed too. And then that's not the only thing to distract from. There's also the issue of the whole Iran stuff and the fact that this specific conflict is started as a result of this little proxy war that another country really wanted to happen. This conflict, arguably, allegedly, I ain't saying anything for sure, this conflict was orchestrated and instigated by a country that also has ties to Epstein. I ain't gonna say what the country is. I ain't gonna say it at all. This is a character, Dave Chappelle. This is a compromised government. When a government gets so desperate that they're literally telling you, we're going to release classified alien documents to you because that's what the people want the most. Even though the people really, really want another set of files to be fully released because we've only seen like 2 to 5% of them. That's how you know you're getting played. And if you're dumb enough to think this is real, I don't know what to say to you. Again, they could prove me wrong and just release literal footage that has aliens in it. Doubt that's going to happen. And if it is, it's probably doctored to hell. And I doubt any of that happens. They want us to move past this as quickly as possible. It's the most obvious thing in the world. Do not let them. Don't let them distract you with this. The problem is, I think it's working. I think the online discourse is slowly changing to, oh, aliens, aliens, aliens. At some point, someone needs to hack and find a smoking gun piece of evidence in the Epstein files and just launch it. With all the hearings and the interviews related to Epstein, though, and how pathetic people are looking, like Les Wexner and a bunch of other guys, it's getting bad, though. It's getting bad for this government. But you know what the fundamental truth is, though? There are people that I know, parents of friends of mine, who don't know anything about Epstein. They don't even know this is happening, and they don't want to know. But the alien stuff, no, that'll reach the casuals faster. Aliens, as a piece of news, is more digestible than this Epstein stuff. Children getting trafficked and eaten and killed, like all this disgusting, degenerate stuff. People want to know about aliens much more than this. People don't want to know that this is what's happening under the seedy underbelly of the people who own and control us and rule over us. Now listen, guys. I don't want us to forget about the crimes and the people implicated to those crimes in the Epstein files, right? I am part of a secret society of vigilantes. That's just starting out. We don't exist yet officially, okay? But we're trying to do something. We're basically a non-profit organization dedicated to bringing these demons at the top to light. Now, if you're interested, and I'm not saying you have to be an expert in any one of these. We have many people who have emailed me requesting to join. I'm going to reply to everybody because we need to start vetting members. But if you have any knowledge or connections in law enforcement, if you have any knowledge about the law, maybe you're a lawyer, maybe you have knowledge about legal system, maybe you have connections there, maybe you're studying it. If you have experience in journalism, cybersecurity, and social media growth, we need you. Join us. Email me. My email will be in my YouTube bio or whatever. Email me if you're interested, because we need to do something about this, man. We cannot sit idly by and allow this to occur, allow people to get away with this. We are vigilantes, but we're still operating in the law. Vigilantes is kind of a loaded term, and I'm saying this in case any law enforcement wants to come after me, or are there any lawsuits or anything like that. No. This is purely within the confines of the law, I promise you. All right? That's that.